I got you. Ready. Hey guys,
Got it.
welcome to this video. This is the scoping review process. We are going to listen to Sinjin Roming talk about how to do the scoping review.
So first of all, hi guys. I think y'all know who I am. I'm hoping you do. If you don't, hi. First of all, I want to just to all watching this, thank you so much for helping with this project. This has kind of been an exciting thing for me to really kind of understand more about what I'm doing in my field and really kind of springboarding things forward. So I'm going to share my screen so everyone can kind of see what we're doing here. If you haven't used the program Covidence before, this kind of give you briefly an idea of what this is. Oh, not that. This. Okay. So Covidence is a cool program where you can kind of get a lot of different articles in there and do a scoping review, which basically what we're doing is a scoping review. We're looking at trying to kind of generally just see in the literature what is out there in terms of a question which we have. And in this case, we're looking to see how is teacher wellness being defined in the literature. And so right now, what you guys are going to be helping us with is the full text phase of the project. This is where, let me make sure. Everyone can see that, right? I'm just making sure that I'm not like, can everyone see my screen? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not like, okay,
Well,
talking
you're screen
to
sharing to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well
Yeah.
now I am. I just want to make sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do, guys, is that how you're gonna help us out is now that we're kind of gotten to this phase now that we are gonna look at the full article text and text of these documents to see if they have an explicit definition of teacher wellness. To start out, because we want to make sure we're all on the same page, I've selected 5 articles that seemed, in my opinion, to have this these definitions, and we're all going to look at them now to kind of to start out to make sure that we're on the same page and that we're all agreeing with said decision. And how that's going to work is I'm just going to show it to you in with one that it's not one of the ones that I have, but it's just one of the ones that we'll be doing eventually. It'll come up with a list of of all the articles that have gone through to this phase of the project, and if the full text is there, you should be able to you'll be able to just click on it right here. If not, we'll have to upload it. Taylor Storms is over here on this project, is working on uploading those now. So if that one's not uploaded, just go ahead and try to see if you can find it real quickly for us if it's not there. If not, obviously just do the best you can with it. And
And
then
real quick,
if there
I
is,
would like
sorry,
to insert here that Sinjin has a really cool tool on his computer, and it's that live key nomad down there at the bottom.
yeah,
It's provided by, and it corresponds with that download PDF function. Sinjin, you're doing great with your cursor. So that will allow Sinjin to go directly to that resource because the university library already has access to it.
yeah, yeah. So there you
And
go. Thank
man,
you, Chris. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah. So
yeah.
that's the nice
So
thing about it, especially if you're a TAMUC
yes.
person.
And if you would like to download that, I did send the link in the chat. But it's also if you go to the TAMUC or the ETA Waters Library and type in LibKey Nomad, it's down at the bottom. Sinjin and I were just discussing the other day about, we have 3,000 right now. We started with 7. How many are we realistically expecting? And like 500 would be a small ballpark of what we would hope for. We're hoping that many research articles have a clear definition of
Yeah,
this is what we're saying. Um,
definitely.
and we'll also want to talk about like what that means in context to what it's saying, right? So like I imagine we'll end up with another Excel chart where we have like the author, the year, the title, and
Yeah.
like specifically what they said and the context around it.
Mhm.
Because you're not, it's we may have to like paraphrase some of them.
Of course, definitely.
So, and do we already have
Yeah.
a chart going for that part of the process, Engine?
We will be doing that very soon. We do not have that yet, but we will be making that very soon.
Okay. So
Yes.
anyway, back
Yeah.
to um, including
Yeah.
versus excluding.
So yeah, exactly. So once you get this, like for example, if I have this Vatu, I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right at all, but you have the full text here. Um, and if it's and let's just pretend it's already here. You're gonna look through here, and if you end up finding in this article an explicit definition of wellness, um, Now, there it could be about psychological wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, whatever. It doesn't really matter specifically, like if it's a specific type of wellness, as long as it just is wellness or well-being right now. That's what we're worried about. If you end up finding one that explicitly says it has that definition, you can click on this button and it will continue include it, at least from on your side, into the next phase, or at least so that it can be saying that you agree that it's there. If you feel like it does not have it, or it doesn't seem, or because we have some criteria up here of things that we need to make sure that are included in the study, like different certain kinds of studies,
Like we don't
certain kinds.
want pre-service teachers.
Yeah, no pre-research teachers. We don't want, if it's about students, we don't want that. We don't want it
Yeah.
about
We don't want
university
it about
professors.
principals.
Yeah. So, and if you ever have questions about those criteria, they're up here. If you click on criteria, and you can look at this list, and we'll kind of help you know what we're not looking for. So, if it ends up that one of these articles, somehow, let's go back to that VA2 again. If it ended up that that one just either did not have the definition, or it didn't have the right population that we're looking at, or it was a kind of a manuscript of a document we're not looking for, you click on exclude, and then it's going to ask you to give a reason why, and then you just click on what that reason why is and continue on. And you keep doing this for each one of these that we have in the system. So
And
again,
we're all
I've
to vote.
established for us. Yeah. Yes.
And Sinjin and I just did five, and we agreed on
Mhm.
two of them, and then one of them was irrelevant, and then two of them we ended up finding irrelevant.
Yeah.
So ideally we're all voting closer to the same, but that's real. We're finding that harder to do um in practice. So if you want to go through and take some notes before you make any votes, or like if we want to like do some together, that would be a good.
Yeah. We'll just want to make
Yeah,
sure
that would
that,
be
that these five,
amazing.
yeah, we just got to make sure that these five we agree on at least, or we get to a certain consensus before we move on, because I don't want to keep what we don't want to go into like doing 100 and then realize that we were all off and on the same page. So
Yeah. Yeah,
let
exactly.
me get those three for you all, so we can figure that out. Um, and this for and I mean, unless we want to wait to do that another time. I mean, which we can.
Let
Um,
me see which three you're talking about. And
yes, because
if it
we've
shows.
got two already that we have down here. Let me see which ones they are.
So it's
Sinjin, just so you know, like it's still nothing shows up for me.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so like I can see
Hmm.
it, I can see
Okay.
I don't know if you can see my screen. Like it shows fine. It basically just says teacher wellness definitions. And then it says, well done,
Okay.
there's no studies for you to screen. So what I'm wondering is, do you guys need to invite me to like a specific like journal or something like that? I wonder.
So I think I did that because if you go to, let me stop sharing my screen real quick and just look at that.
yeah, so it says you
Mhm.
were added 20 minutes ago, and it
Right.
says
And I did
work.
verify my email because I thought maybe that was the problem.
And I looked at the settings, and it does say that you are. I think you should be set up into the full text reviewing reviewer stage.
Okay. Yeah, so it shows see this all. Oh yeah, it does. It says all studies must be screened by either. Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, let me fix that right now. I gotta add you both, all three of us, in there. Um, so let me just save that now. Should save. I don't know why it's not doing that. Okay, let me try this again.
Yeah, that is weird. It says
Hmm.
all studies can be screened by either anyone. Yeah, that's what we want.
So I saved it so that, yeah. Let's see. So I saved it now that so the three of us are the ones that have to do it. But
So is it going to want Britta to vote on all of them?
oh, I know why now. Okay. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I put it on the wrong phase.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna go to the right one. Okay. So the right one, yes, it should have everyone now on there to do it for that right
yeah, because
phase.
I don't want Britta to have to go through the 7,000. Like I feel
Nope.
pretty
No.
solid in
She doesn't
our
need to. She doesn't need
great,
to do that. No.
great.
But yeah. So
To be clear, basically we are each reviewing all 2800, or is it like I do them and then you each individually do them? When we have a conflict, then we review together. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's essentially what's going to
Okay.
happen is once we do these five, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, kind of like what's called calibration.
Like a
We're then going
test.
to get individually just do all these. Yeah, basically test to see make sure that we're all on the same page. We're all going to do these, and then when it has a conflict, it'll mark it and say, "Hey, someone didn't agree on this," and then we'll meet together and try to see what were we thinking there and get to a consensus. So
And
yeah.
it's important to think about when you make that vote, Covidence doesn't let you go back. So like Covidence doesn't let you really recast your vote. And there is a measure of inter-rater reliability that we're doing, not to make you nervous, but to make you
Oh.
like cautious of like we're really looking for a literal definition of does this say what teacher well-being is? Like anywhere in the document.
Hmm.
So just yeah. Sorry, I wanted to help, but I don't know. But
No, it's okay.
No, that's correct. You're absolutely right. Yeah, no, that's right. And then just something to let you guys know is that if the definition doesn't literally say teacher wellness, but just says wellness, but it's an article about teachers, you should be
Mhm.
fine because
Okay.
that's kind of not going to literally say use to say teacher
Yeah, and the
wellness.
good thing is we have the articles. It's those
Yeah.
2,800. So it's not like I have to go find the articles. We already
No,
have
yeah,
like,
we'll have, and then we might have to find some of them, but once one of us has found them and uploaded it, we'll have no problem. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I have now added you both as for this, though it might need to. Um, okay, yeah. So I both added you both to review it, and it has to be done by you guys. Um, guess go ahead and try again if it's available now. I don't know why it might not be working still, but hmm.
Yeah, it still shows mine that Britta is set to 0. So we may just need to email the Covidence people.
Yeah,
I
we'll
swear I
figure
email them all the time.
it out.
okay, I
Yeah.
think it showed up correctly. Let me just share my
Mhm.
screen.
Okay.
I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that you guys are seeing, like, that
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
seeing the right thing.
Yeah.
Um, um, like, wait, okay, where did it go?
It's okay. It'll come back. Get back here.
Right. Okay. Okay, I do not want all of this. Um, sorry, guys.
You're good.
No,
I literally
I think
don't
I
know
see
where
it.
it went.
To the right there,
sure.
it's the navy blue.
Yeah. The last one on your
Here.
last one on the right.
Yeah.
The last one on the right, where?
Oh,
Up
at the top of your browser.
in your browser bar. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's the issue. Okay, I just need to be able to move that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay. Cool. So if you go down, scroll down. Let's see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yay.
two screen. Here you go. You
Yep.
got it now.
That's
So
them.
it's
So that
Let me just go, like, can I just walk through
yeah.
doing
yeah,
one of
totally.
these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go. So go ahead down to that full text.
So
Click on that
full text review.
Hmm.
full text review, and then click on continue. So
Yay.
what you're going to do now is, so actually, Chris, since the two are already through by us, then she really can't do them. So I'm not really sure. I guess you can do the three.
I don't know. We'll come back. So I would
Okay.
start by pressing
Yeah.
the filter button,
Yeah.
all the
Filter.
right there,
Yep.
and type in
And you.
well-being.
Yeah.
Um, I'll start with the WEL dash being, but we
Okay.
also have to do well, no dash being and wellness,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? Um,
Yep.
I wouldn't do them all. I would just do one at a time, but maybe you could do them all.
Actually, what we'll do is let's do the names of the article of the authors of the articles. So for now, because we're going to be looking at just specific ones.
Oh, okay. Well, let's
Yeah.
finish just walking
Oh
through.
yeah.
So if you'll
Right.
go
Right.
to
Right. I'm
press
sorry.
filter,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
You
So,
got it.
okay, so
Well-being, and then click
just the
filter.
word well-being and click filter.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And so
And
this is
go.
really where if you wanted to start looking through papers, this is where I would advise you to start. Sinjin and I would invite you to start. Is
so
like,
here we're at Staying Afloat, a mixed method study of the financial and
uh,
psychological well-being of early childhood educators. So
Yep.
then I would click on the abstract to
if
look
it,
at it
So you
next.
so scroll down a little bit more. And then you'd look at, oh, okay. So you
Okay,
see
yeah.
where it says right here, it says afloat, that text.
Yep.
Yeah.
Click on that, and then it will bring you to the article itself.
Okay.
And now just look through the article, and if you can like control find for like well-being or wellness, it might help you find it.
And Sinjin, you
Um,
want to just go do this one with her? Like we'll look up
yeah,
best
yeah,
vessel.
Okay.
What
So
was
yeah,
yeah.
so it's saying financial well-being. Um, so here's, I think it's interesting. What does it mean to be well psychologically? Um,
Yeah.
sorry, you said control F.
That can help you find it, but if you can just find it by just looking through the pages, then you don't have to do that necessarily. So
I mean, it's saying well-being, so it's the dash with the dash.
Good.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. How do you spell the author's last name on this study?
This one, the first one is Vessely.
mhm.
For some reason, it's
So
not popping up for.
just from like a quick review of this, I would say I think it should be included.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So now the next step would be to like if you wanted to literally control find and see where it has well-being and like get a sample of like what it's like um maybe a sample of the definition. You don't have to do this, but this might be helpful later in the notes if we're wanting to do like a quick
Yeah.
Wait, so did you do control F?
uh
Hmm.
yeah, oh and it popped up. Okay, great. So now type well-being.
What is that stupid bar?
Yeah. It's so hard to see. Okay. So
So I mean it's all over, right? Like it's in
yeah.
lots of.
So
Yeah.
this is kind of where we're
So
yeah.
we're looking how they define well-being, is that correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Financial well-being seem to be positively associated with logical well-being, as well as like that little snippet right there. I would take that and add that. That's just some type of snippet that you, if you're reading and you're
Where
like,
where was that? I'm
so
sorry.
it says, no, you're good. It says, that is while financial well-being seem to be positively associated, to the right.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the top column
yeah, well,
on
yeah, you're right there. Um,
right here. Yep.
yeah, that is while financial well-being, um, positively associated with logical well-being, right? So like that to me is like a fragment of the definition of what this paper is trying to say. That's
Okay,
why I'm saying we may have to go in and like sit with some of the papers with what they mean by well-being.
sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think if we each find a snippet of what we interpret the well-being to be along the way, then when we get to the end, we can be like, and you don't have to use this example, Britta. This is just like the
It's good practice, so I'd like to use it.
yeah,
So, okay, I have pulled this example.
yeah.
Now, where do I, so one, what do I do now with,
So if you agree that, so basically, first of all, Britta, if you agree that it should be included, then
I think
it
it
has a
should.
button that says
But
included.
but don't push the
And
button yet because when you push
right,
the button immediately it like lets
yeah.
it
So you
removes
would
it.
click that button. You click that button once you say yes, I want to do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I do want
Not
to
yet.
include it. No?
Yes.
If
And
you
if you
do,
scroll down just a little bit,
yeah.
it has that note section right there at the bottom. That's
Yep.
where you can type in Britta looked at definite yes. Um, I don't know, whatever you want to say to us, the team. And like, I don't feel like you have to do this for every single article. I don't know that I've done it for the five I've done. It just, this is the part of research where we're just making it happen.
Then
Yeah.
that's enough. So I just X out, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
basically it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and then
perfect.
and then just vote on if you want to include it or not. I mean, obviously, don't need to do it now, but this is one of the calibration ones. But I guess, yeah, because I included that one, so that's fair.
I think that one would
So
be included. I mean, did you see how many times it mentioned like the
yeah, and
concept?
also, I mean, it shows someone's older one, but it seems like if they're citing it like that one way you were talking about, Britta, with like that whole dimensions thing, I would say yeah, they're definitely trying to use that because they wanted to find it that way. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds good.
and
So I can just keep going and keep going through these
Yeah.
that same
yeah, so
way if
just
you'd
just let
like.
me do two other ones that we've set up. before we do that, just to make sure we're on the same page. And then, yeah, just do that process basically.
So Sinjin, do you know those numbers or do you know the last names of the two?
Yeah. So the other last names. Go ahead and vote on Wesley for you, Chris. If you already
I
haven't
was going to
already.
say I have to jump off. I have a 2:30.
Oh yeah, you're good. No
If
worries.
you send me them, I can look at
Yeah.
those, or
Yeah.
I can
And
just
we'll
go through and keep doing some.
on up to the workspace.
Okay,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
sounds
gonna,
good.
yeah,
And then we can keep
Okay,
up with our calibration ones. So
we'll do.
awesome.
Yeah.
thanks so
See you
much. Yeah.
guys.
Let us know if you have any
Yeah.
Bye.
questions. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Oh,
Alrighty. So let's thanks for watching this video. To anybody else who may be seeing how we do this process. I think that's a pretty good stopping point, and let's go do the calibration. Bye.